Most drivers don't realize that the way they treat their car on a daily basis is being silently recorded by the vehicle itself. Mechanics see the evidence every single day when cars roll into the shop. These aren't dramatic failures or catastrophic breakdowns. These are quiet mistakes that cost you money over time, mistakes that could have been avoided with simple changes to your routine. What you're about to hear comes from what technicians actually see when they open hoods, check fluids, and diagnose problems that didn't need to happen. Mistake number 1. Driving on low tire pressure for extended periods. This happens because most drivers only think about their tires when something feels obviously wrong. The problem is that tires lose air slowly and naturally over time, usually 1 to 2 psi per month under normal conditions. By the time the tire pressure warning light comes on, you're already significantly underinflated. What mechanics see is uneven tire wear, excessive heat damage to the sidewalls, and reduced fuel efficiency that adds up over thousands of miles. Underinflated tires also stress your suspension components because the tire isn't absorbing road impact the way it should. The fix is simple. Check your tire pressure once a month with an inexpensive gauge. The correct pressure is listed on a sticker inside your driver's door, not on the tire itself. This takes 3 minutes and can extend tire life by years. Mistake number 2. Ignoring the cabin air filter. Most drivers don't even know this filter exists. It's the filter that cleans the air coming into your vehicle through the vents. When it gets clogged with dust, pollen, and debris, your climate control system has to work significantly harder to push air through. Mechanics find filters that are completely black, sometimes with leaves and dirt packed so tight that airflow is almost zero. This puts strain on your blower motor, reduces heating and cooling efficiency, and can eventually cause the blower motor to fail entirely. That's a repair that can cost several $100s, all because a $20 filter wasn't replaced. Most cabin air filters should be changed every 12 to 15,000 miles, and many of them are accessible enough that you can do it yourself in under 10 minutes. Mistake number 3. Running the fuel tank extremely low on a regular basis. There's a common belief that it doesn't matter as long as you refill before you run out completely. The issue is that your fuel pump is located inside the fuel tank and is cooled by the fuel itself. When you consistently drive with less than a quarter tank, especially in hot weather, the pump runs hotter than it's designed to. Over time, this shortens the lifespan of the fuel pump. Mechanics also see sediment and debris from the bottom of the tank get pulled into the fuel system when the tank is nearly empty. This can clog fuel filters and injectors. A fuel pump replacement is not a minor repair. Keeping your tank above a quarter full, especially during summer months, is a simple way to avoid this. Mistake number 4. Never changing brake fluid. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, which means it absorbs moisture from the air over time. As moisture builds up in the fluid, it lowers the boiling point and causes internal corrosion in your brake lines, calipers, and master cylinder. Most manufacturers recommend changing brake fluid every 2 to 3 years, but many drivers go 5, 10, or even 15 years without touching it. By the time mechanics inspect the system, they find rust inside components that should be clean and brake performance that has degraded so slowly the driver never noticed. Corroded brake components can lead to expensive repairs and reduce stopping power when you need it most. This is a maintenance item that's often overlooked because brakes still seem to work fine, but the damage is happening quietly underneath. Mistake number 5. Neglecting the battery terminals. Mechanics see this on almost every vehicle that comes in with electrical issues or no-start conditions. Corrosion builds up on battery terminals over time, creating resistance that prevents the battery from charging properly or delivering full power to the starter. Drivers often assume their battery is dead when the real problem is just corrosion. A failing alternator can also go undiagnosed longer than it should because the terminal corrosion was masking the symptoms. Cleaning battery terminals takes 5 minutes with a wire brush and some baking soda mixed with water. Doing this once or twice a year can prevent no-start situations and help you get the full life out of your battery and charging system. Mistake number 6. Resting your hand on the gear shifter while driving. This is especially common in vehicles with manual transmissions, but it happens with automatics too. The problem is that when you rest weight on the shifter, you're applying pressure to the transmission selector fork and synchronizers. Over time, This causes premature wear on components that are not designed to handle constant pressure. Mechanics see transmission wear patterns that directly correlate with this habit. The solution is simple. Keep both hands on the wheel unless you're actively shifting. Your transmission will last longer, and you'll have better control of the vehicle. Mistake number 7. Ignoring the serpentine belt until it fails. The serpentine belt drives your alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and water pump on most modern vehicles. It's one belt doing multiple jobs. Belts wear out over time. They develop cracks, glazing, and fraying that are visible during inspection. Most manufacturers recommend replacement every 60 to 90,000 miles, but many drivers wait until the belt breaks. When a serpentine belt fails while driving, you lose power steering, your battery stops charging, your engine can overheat, and you may be stranded. Mechanics see cars towed in regularly because of a belt that should have been replaced during routine maintenance. A replacement belt costs a fraction of what a tow and emergency repair costs. Having it inspected during oil changes and replacing it on schedule is straightforward prevention. Mistake number 8. Using the wrong oil or going too long between oil changes. Modern engines are built with tighter tolerances and specific oil requirements. Using conventional oil in an engine designed for synthetic, or using the wrong viscosity, leads to increased wear and sludge buildup. Mechanics see engines with oil that looks like tar, engines with sludge caked on internal components, and engines that failed prematurely because oil changes were delayed by thousands of miles. Oil is your engine's lifeblood. It lubricates, cleans, and cools internal parts. When it breaks down or gets contaminated, metal-on-metal contact increases and engine damage accelerates. Following the manufacturer's oil change interval and using the recommended oil type is one of the simplest ways to extend engine life. If your driving involves a lot of short trips, stop-and-go traffic, or extreme temperatures, you may need to change oil more frequently than the standard interval suggests. Mistake number 9. Ignoring coolant condition. Coolant doesn't just prevent freezing and overheating. It also contains corrosion inhibitors that protect your engine, radiator, water pump, and heater core. Over time, these inhibitors break down, and the coolant becomes acidic. Acidic coolant corrodes metal components from the inside. Mechanics see radiators with pinhole leaks, water pumps that fail early, and heater cores that clog, all because coolant was never flushed. Most manufacturers recommend a coolant flush every 30,000 to 50,000 miles, but this service is often skipped. Testing coolant is simple with an inexpensive test strip, and replacing it on schedule prevents expensive cooling system repairs. Mistake number 10. Ignoring windshield wiper performance until visibility becomes dangerous. Mechanics see people driving with wipers that are torn, streaking, or barely making contact with the glass. Worn wipers don't just reduce visibility. They can also scratch your windshield because the metal frame may be dragging across the glass. A scratched windshield is expensive to replace. Wiper blades should be replaced every 6 to 12 months depending on your climate. This is a repair you can do yourself in under 5 minutes, and it directly affects your safety in rain or snow. These 10 mistakes aren't dramatic. They don't make for exciting stories, but they're real, they happen every day, and mechanics see the consequences constantly. The common thread is that all of these are preventable with basic awareness and simple maintenance habits. Your car is designed to communicate when something needs attention, but many of these issues develop slowly and quietly. Paying attention to the small things, following your maintenance schedule, and treating your vehicle with consistent care will save you money and extend the life of every major system. Which of these mistakes have you seen or experienced? Understanding what mechanics see daily can help you avoid becoming one of those cases.